All right. All right. Welcome. Check 1, 2. Trying to make sure my settings are right. So if you can hear this, there we go. Please let me know if it's not loud enough in the chat. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. All right, guys. So just make sure. Okay. So today I thought that we would do a little something different. I just wanted to try a little live stream for you guys. First of all, I got to say thank you all for the getting us over the 1,000 subscribers a couple weeks ago. I haven't posted a video since, so I wanted to just say thank you to all you guys. You're amazing. And I put up a community poll which asked what kind of content you guys wanted for the future of this channel. And overwhelmingly, people voted for more theory and lesson videos. So today, if you've been following the channel, we were doing music theory on Thursday mornings. And so today I'm going to kind of continue that a little bit and show you guys some of my warm-up stuff that I've been working on and maybe some concepts to help you guys out. Please drop questions in the live chat. I will leave this posted for future reference. You can always come back to this. I'm going to make a little playlist on the channel of these theory videos so you can have them all archived there at any time. Okay, so I haven't really even played yet. It's getting cold out. So here in Montana, it's really cold. So I always try to get quite a bit of warm-ups going in my own playing for the day before I even practice any kind of songs or learning new material for gigs or whatever I'm doing for the day. So today I want to show you guys this concept that I think a lot of books and stuff start teaching you scales in a different way. A lot of times we'll be playing, and this is kind of how I grew up learning to play, playing scales in one position like this. Okay, so vertically up and down the neck this way. It wasn't until much later in my life that I started working on scales horizontally across the neck this way. And I had a great teacher that showed me this book right here. This is called Advancing Guitarist. And it kind of changed a lot of concepts in my own playing. So I highly recommend checking this out. Mick Goodrick is kind of a legendary guitar theory book. But in it, he talks about how we should be thinking about the neck more horizontally or linearly for melodic ideas and things like that. So, which made a lot of sense to me. So what I'm going to do today is just show you guys how to practice major scales on one string at a time, okay? So first, let's talk about what a major scale actually is. It's 7 notes. Or the 8th note of the scale is the same as the first note, the root note. So today, let's just say we're going to play F major. Let's start on this low string. So the first note would be F, and then we're going to do 2 frets up. This is a whole step, then another whole step, then a half step. All right, so then another whole step, then another whole step, then a half step. Okay, so do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And I actually put together a PDF of this you can download off the website. Looks like this. So here's a picture of what that looks like right here on the top. We've got the first interval from the root note to the second note is a major second. or what we call a whole step. So we've got one whole step, then another whole step. And on guitar, a whole step is 2 frets apart. So we got whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Now, if we wanted to keep going up on this one string, we would just start from this root note again, F, and we would just start that formula again. So the next one would be at the 15th fret, 17th fret, on up from there. So let's go ahead and just play this, practice playing this F major scale up and down on this low string one more time. A lot of times I'll just use one finger at a time. Because there's no really efficient way to do this. A lot of people will play the first 4 notes in a grouping like this. Or probably better, pointer finger on the first note, then shifting up the first 2 notes of that 4-note group with your pointer finger, then ring finger, pinky. Okay. First finger, ring finger, pinky. And a lot of times we will call that a tetrachord, the first 4 notes of the scale. And this is an easy way to memorize this shape on one string. Those 4 notes, that little shape repeats itself again, one whole step up from where that first tetrachord ended. So we'd have a tetrachord starting on the 1st fret, F. Then from here, if we go up another whole step, that shape would repeat again. That's probably the way you would finger it to get the least amount of shifts at a time. Or most efficient, I guess. That's only 1 shift, 2 shifts, 3 shifts. Some people also shift with a ring finger, so you could go 1, 3 with ring, slide up, ring, pinky. Scotty, good morning. Tetrachords. Okay, so we got 2 tetrachords stacked on top of each other. That gives us our major scale. And the formula for that tetrachord is whole step, half step. Whole step, half step. So that's a little bit easier to remember than smashing the entire scale into one chunk, right? I mean, that's a lot of whole steps and half steps to memorize. But if you just have those first 4 notes, it's a little bit more manageable. And then you can see easily chunk, there it is on one string. Okay, so now look at the PDF. That's kind of what this line is all about, seeing those 4 notes as a shape, moving that shape up. So now what we're going to do is do that same formula on each string, okay? So if you don't know how to find all the rest of those root notes, let's say we're going to play just F major on every string. This is kind of a guide, and we've talked about this in other videos before, how to visualize these octave shapes. And I've got links down to those lessons in the description, so you can check that out. But say we were going to play this on the 5th string. So if you didn't know, you could count up maybe and find it. But F is at the 8th fret on the 5th string. So if we wanted, and first step, I guess, would just be to play up and down the shape from here. Now, if you don't have an electric guitar, you're going to run out of neck about halfway up. If you have a Steve Vai Ibanez or something, you can go 2 octaves way up there. It would be kind of easy. But let's just try it from here. So 8th fret, 10th fret, 12th fret, 13th fret. That's our first tetrachord. And we start at the 15th fret. And I always think you should go up as high as you can on any given string. Okay, and then if you're starting in the middle of the string, you should play back down to the low note, low as you can on each string. And here we could actually even play the open string. But visualize those tetrachords going down and up on a single string. Play up and down. Okay, if we were on the next string down, we'd be starting on the 3rd fret. And our lowest note is on the open D. But if you start on the lowest possible note, if you started on that D, it doesn't really sound like F major. Sometimes our ear starts hearing it as a different scale. In this case, it'd be like some mode of major scale. So I always recommend when you're first starting out on these, just play every scale from the root note up and down back to the root note. Okay, if we tried it on the G string, where would we be starting? Right here, right? 10th fret F. And backwards. If we're on the 2nd string, we'd be starting from the 6th fret. And then down. And if we're on the 1st string again, so that's like the first thing that I would play when I'm warming up for the day. Maybe if you're here for some homework and you're looking for new things to add to your routine, that would be step 1. So here's what I do. I actually get my metronome out. Let's see. I'm going to put it on. I have this app called Tempo, which is cool, but you can, it costs $3. There's free metronomes all over the internet. There's one built into Google. You can just open it, click on it, set the speed, and off you go. So let's set it. I got it about 70. Well, let's just leave it there. So I don't know can you guys hear this? I'm going to set it about 70. I'm going to just go through from 6th string all the way up and down as many notes as I can. Then I'm going to just progress. I'm not going to play all the way through this, but I would just go starting with quarter notes. Okay, next string. Starting on this, going up. All the way down, and then back up. Okay, next string. All the way down and back up to the root. Okay, 10th fret now. All the way down and back. Okay. Next string, we're on the 6th fret. Then first. Keep going if you can. Okay. So the point of the metronome is to kind of keep you going, work on your time, work on your groove feel. So I'll set it, I'll play all the way through every string just on F major up and down. Then I'll stay at the same click, but I'll play through it using the next fastest subdivision, right? So that was quarter notes, right? So next would be, well, you could do a bunch of different things. Eighth notes, I guess. Okay. Try to keep your fingers close to the strings. Right. Then I'll do triplet, eighth notes, right? Okay. I do that on every string. And 16 notes, right? Oh, that was terrible. On and on and on. We go all the way through every single string. And this is kind of my approach when I'm warming up. I'll pick one key per day. A lot of people just go through, drilling. I don't have that much time to practice every day. So usually what I'll do is every new day, I'll pick a new key. I kind of go through like cycle of fourths, or I try to pick a distantly related key to the one I practiced the day before. So like yesterday I did everything in key of A flat major. So started from the fourth fret and played up and down. But you can go through multiple keys, but I think it's just kind of nice to focus on one. If you go through this whole routine with the metronome, going faster and faster and faster until you can't play it anymore, that's going to take about 10 minutes, right? And then you can start playing patterns, right? A great thing to practice is to do some of those patterns that we talked about in the technique videos with scales, where we were going 1, 3, 2, 4, or maybe playing up and down arpeggios, like skip one note, then go back one note, then skip one, back one, skip one, right? Try to do that on one string at a time. It gets kind of crazy. And then try, only after all of that, try making some melodies with these scales. So put it on, maybe grab a backing track in F major, or just record a little loop of yourself, whatever. And then try making just melodies with this. This is great practice for slide guitar also, by the way, because that's basically what you're doing. You're playing melodies on one string at a time a lot of the time. So whatever it is. Stuff like that. Spend a little bit of time each day just improvising along to it. Because if you only practice the scales, and this goes with however you're organizing this information, if you're playing it in one position, or if you're playing in position or you're playing horizontally, however you're working on your scales, if you only practice the scales, you're going to sound really good at playing scales, but not really good at making music with it. So we need to practice equal amount of time making music with the scales, instead of just playing up and down scales and patterns and things like that. So make it organic, have a little bit of fun, and that's really the way to approach any kind of scale, I think. Okay. So we're not even going to go into the theory of how we can play this over what chords and all that. But if your song's in the key of F major, it should work fine. Or the chords are from F major. And we'll be talking more about that down the road with different modes and things like that. But that's pretty much it. So here is where those scales exist on every single note for F major. And for any different key, you could just shift this up or down, right? So if we're in A major, we want to play it at the 5th fret on the low string, right? So we just shift that whole shape. The pattern's still going to be the same. Whole step, half step. And then again. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, so that is kind of the warm-up routine for the week. Play through your major scales on one string at a time, make some music. I guess there's only one person in the live chat. I doubt it's Scotty still, but if so, please ask questions. And once again, thank you guys for pushing the channel over 1,000 subs. I'm super excited for the success and all the fun that we've had throughout the last year and a half here. And if you have more suggestions for content you want help with, drop them in the chats down below. Send me a message on here, and we'll go from there. If you want more of these streaming videos, let me know. I think I'm going to try it for a couple weeks just to kind of get used to it again. I'm sort of nervous. But yeah, I think next week maybe we'll talk about some different kind of minor scales. Yeah, how's the sound? Is it loud enough? Well, let me know anyway. I don't know. It's a different setup than I've had for streams in the past. So I'm not sure how it's going to go. I wish there was a way I could actually just show this screen to you guys. Without using I'm not using like the Streamlabs setup. I'm using the YouTube built-in live streaming stuff, so it's kind of lame. I can't show the PDF, or I don't know how to do that. Sound is good. Okay, awesome. Good. Guitar's loud enough and all that. Okay, cool. So again, PDF is posted on the website. Go download it. It's actually color coordinated, but my printer just ran out of colored ink. Boo. Work on this every single day. Like I said, in my own practice, I'm probably spending, if I have an hour to practice total, I probably spend about at least 15 to 20 minutes, 15 to 20% of the total time practicing just this kind of stuff. Really helps me to kind of focus in the mind, tune out all the rest of the crap that's going on around, and just like get down to the sound itself and the guitar itself, and kind of Jedi focus on the guitar itself. And I always try to do that at the beginning of every practice session, because I know if I start by just learning tunes or working on songs or fun stuff for the gigs or whatever coming up, I never go back and actually practice this kind of technique drill stuff, or get better at actually making music. I'm just having fun playing the songs. And there's a big difference between just playing music and practicing, getting better at your instrument. So for me, I try to do this right at the beginning of the day, or at the beginning of the practice session. Most of the times for me, that's in the morning when I get the kids at school and it's quiet at my house or whatever. But yeah, so that's my tips for the day. I hope you guys got something out of this at least. It's very different than most approaches to guitar scales, I think, that you would see in a book right off the bat. A lot of times, like I said, we're playing in positions all the time. And this is like a new way of kind of connecting our neural nets and seeing patterns and shapes across the neck, rather than just memorizing 5 shapes for every major scale, which is a gigantic pain in the ass. This is just a much better different way to kind of add to that. Not that the other way is bad, because I still practice that too. So I'll split it up. I'll practice this first, then I'll go back and do the position playing. And I try to just see all of this as one big chunk instead of like scale here, scale here, scale here. That's our big picture goal. It's like all of this together. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off. I think I'm going to try this next Thursday. Let's see how it goes. Let me know. Drop some comments. And yeah, thank you guys so much. See you next week. Happy practicing. Peace.